So, I'm sitting down waiting for the movie to start. Tall dude walks by me, kind of disheveled hair, and I'm like, that's Vince Vaughn. Andrea, that's Vince Vaughn. She's like, what? I'm like, Vince Vaughn. You know Vince Vaughn, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, that is Vince Vaughn. She's like, wait, really? I'm like, yeah.
Was this conversation? I can see this conversation with you saying as loud as you are, right behind him. And he's like a tear. My God, I just want to watch one movie.
No.
That's Vince Vaughn.
No.
Did Vince Vaughn enjoy the movie? Could you tell?
I didn't ask him.
No, but did they laugh? Was he laughing or?
Well, he was sitting all the way off to the left. He wasn't sitting right in front of me. I'm not staring at fucking Vince Vaughn. I'm trying to enjoy the movie. I don't give a shit if he liked it or not.
Did he start in front of you and did he just move throughout the movie?
Because he didn't want to fucking hear my laughter.
I wonder if Vince Vaughn like that scene, honey. He's like, Vaughn.
Hey, Vince, did you like that? We're going to review this tomorrow. You want to be on the show?
Hey, Vince, down in front. No, I'm kidding. I'll look around with you, bud. God damn it. Okay, fuck it. I'm moving over there. That fucking guy. If he says another fucking word to me.
In a world of bad movies, two follically challenged men will stop at nothing to share their opinions of them. Their wives are tired of listening. But are you? This isn't the podcast you deserve, but it's the one you need. Prepare yourself for Bald Guys and Bad Movies.
Welcome to Bald Guys and Bad Movies, episode 51. I am Troy, here with my buddy,
Magic Mike.
Shake that thing.
That's right.
Shake it.
Do the helicopter.
You ever done a helicopter for Drea?
No.
You wanted to keep her in the mood, not take her out, right? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel you there. What are we reviewing this week, Mike?
This week, we are reviewing Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
We're thieves, but we help the wrong person steal the wrong thing and unleash the greatest evil the world has ever known.
The Red Wizards created an army of the undead.
Sounds lovely.
Quite the opposite.
I know, I was being ironic.
I find irony is a blade that cuts he who wields it most especially.
You're not a lot of fun, are you?
I don't think we had even mentioned reviewing this. We were going to review something else, which I won't name just in case we don't do it right away. But I knew I wanted to see this, and I don't think we really talked about this movie much.
No, we hadn't really talked about it, to tell you the truth.
So I just wanted to see something fun. You know what I mean?
Totally.
The trailers to me looked fun, and I like Chris Pine.
Chris Pine is great, man. He really is.
He's just got charm, dude, like you wouldn't believe. So Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is a 2023 fantasy heist action comedy directed by Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly, who co-wrote the screenplay with Michael Gillio from a story by Chris McKay and Gillio. Based on the tabletop role-playing game Dungeons and Dragons, it is set in the Forgotten Realms campaign setting.
Oh, it's in Forgotten Realms, okay.
I have no fucking idea what that is. It has no connections to the film trilogy released between 2000 and 2012. The film stars Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Regé-Jean Page, Justice Smith, Sophia Lillis, and Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant's great in this.
He's great in everything. Yeah. I love Hugh Grant, man.
What's your history of Dungeons and Dragons? Have you ever played it?
I have never played the actual game. I have played, though, Dungeons and Dragons Adventure Begins, which is a intro to Dungeons and Dragons. It's a very dumbed down version. Mainly, it's for kids from 10 to 14.
The kids in Stranger Things,
they're playing the real Dungeons and Dragons. And that's kind of what spurred Noah to want to try and get into it. So I was looking into it, and I was like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but I think you could do it no problem. And so we got it, and he loved it. He loves playing that game. It's really fun.
Wait, why did you say it like that? You think I could do it no problem? It's for 10-year-olds? You mean
What?
even an idiot like me could do it?
No. I was like, I was telling Noah. I was talking to Noah. I think no. Yeah. I mean, I think you could maybe, but I mean,
I say, wait,
yeah,
was that a dig? I'm like, I let you
No,
talk
dude.
on and on. Like, wait a minute, was that a dig?
No,
I don't
it was
mind
not.
a good dig, but you're probably
Yeah,
right.
it's really good when you have to think about it for 5 minutes before you're like, was he talking shit?
Yeah. Mike's getting good at his subtle shit talking. Oof. I've never played the game. I watched the Saturday morning cartoon though. It was
really?
like one of my favorites growing up, Dungeons and Dragons.
So that wasn't like one of the
group was dressed.
Thing was that.
I leaned
right?
over Robin like, it's just like the Saturday morning cartoon. She's like, I know. I was already enjoying the movie, but I gotta say, it got like 12 additional points for just having that moment for me, for the non canon fans.
Gather round, young adventurers. Gaze upon the crystal ball. See, you are not alone in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons. Wow. Wait, is that us?
What the flump?
We don't look like that.
Where?
Do we look like that?
It's close, but it's not perfect.
My hair isn't red, it's orange.
We fought a 5-headed dragon. Now we're just a glorified cameo.
I think it's cool being an Easter egg.
You're 9. That guy's like 40. You should be the most pissed.
Mike, did you like this film? Would you recommend it?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a really good time. Like, it was just fun.
Do you have to be a D&D fan to appreciate this?
Absolutely not. Like, you just got to be in the mood to have fun. It's just a fun movie. Holy shit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we got to get into it because I got to bring something up.
Oh, absolutely. So I agree with Mike. I know nothing about Dungeons and Dragons other than what was in the Saturday morning cartoon. And thank you again for that Easter egg featuring the characters in that cartoon and badly made costumes.
It's so good.
Yeah, but I loved it. Like, yeah, that's exactly how it would look, folks, fans, if you wanted those characters in the light of day. So maybe it's a good idea not to do it. I still will want to do it, though. Yeah, I love this movie. It was fun. If you just want to have fun, don't like overthink it. Just
go see it and have a good time. Don't expect it's not mind-blowing cinema. It's not Godard.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's not Lord of the Rings or anything like that. It is,
and it's not trying to be Lord of the Rings.
Exactly.
That's the best part.
Yep, we'll say go see it. Dungeons and Dragons, a fun time, fun for the whole family. Mike, do you can you summarize in a nutshell the plot, just in a nutshell, and then we can get into specifics because you're really good at that.
Sure. I'm good at that.
Yeah,
okay,
you're better than me, at least for the context of this sentence. I'm saying.
Basically, a band of thieves has to free one of their daughters from an ex partner of theirs who basically lied to her and kidnapped her kind of, and I don't know. I'm not good at this. What are you talking about?
Holy shit, that was a mistake.
Yeah, what the feeling put me on the spot? When have you ever thought I'd be good at this? I'm horrible at stuff like this.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay, buddy. You just sit over there. We got some finger paints in the corner.
Give me another try. One more try.
It's okay, buddy. We got glitter.
One more try. Give me one more try.
And stickers.
Give me one more. Give me one more try. Okay,
all right,
before I go eat
go
some
ahead,
fucking Elmer's glue or something.
Everyone be quiet. Mike's gonna try again. Everyone be quiet. Go ahead, Mikey. You got this, man.
A band of hapless thieves have to save Neverwinter from the evil red witches trying to enslave all of the town, and hijinks ensue.
And Chris Pine, I'll dive in here, Mikey. Chris Pine plays a bard. Well, he's now a bard, but he was formerly like a paladin, kind of a hero guy.
What were they called? I don't remember what they were called, but yeah, he was like some sort of selfless protectors.
Yes, he was like a knight in shining armor.
Yeah, a true knight in shining armor, not some douchebag in shining armor.
He was a good man, had a wife and a new baby girl, but they weren't paying him shit, just like the real world.
Literally, that's the whole point. Yeah.
Yeah, they were eating like bad soup. He steals something from a mission. It's like a gold bar from one of the red warlocks, and they were able to track.
This ain't much of a nutshell anymore. I think we're actually getting into talking about the entire plot.
Well, I mean, this is the catalyst, right? So
okay,
he, and that.
I think you need to come to the kids' table with me,
No,
Troy.
no, I'm giving information.
Okay.
But I like the kids' table. Kids' table is fucking fun, dude. There's macaronis over there. Who doesn't like a macaroni necklace?
Depends on who makes it.
So anyway, it leads to him, his family, his wife dying, and he wants to resurrect his wife. So there's a MacGuffin, which is this little medallion of resurrection. That's what he's questing after. And on that mission to try to get this piece, it goes wrong, quote unquote. And he and Michelle Rodriguez, Holga, the barbarian, is trapped. And Hugh Grant, who plays Forge Fitzwilliam, before Chris Pine is frozen in time, he's like, please take care of my daughter. He's like, yes, I will. So flash to 2 years later, they're in prison and they bust out. And they do a really good job in the beginning of like setting the table really quickly, because he's up before the pardon board in the jail, and he recounts.
Oh my God, that part was so funny. It's like,
wait, let's call him Ben. Where's Ben? Ben, he's supposed to be here, Ben.
But it was so funny because he keeps like in the middle of the damn thing saying like, it's like, is he coming? Because like, I really think he would really be touched by my story. I really think he would connect with it. They're like, do you want to tell the story or not? And so he goes through, he tells the story. They're moved, and they like right as the guy walks in the door, they stamp the pardon and they grab him and they're jumping out the window. They're like, but we approved your parole.
Right. The guy has wings, so it's a bird creature.
Yeah.
So what you realize, he's been waiting to jump on him and Michelle Rodriguez, and jump out the window. And as they fall, it's like, but we approved your pardon. So it's completely pointless, which in turn makes them wanted people. Because they escaped, now they have a bounty on their heads. He learns that Hugh Grant is now the mayor, king, whatever of this city, and has basically lied to Chris Pine's daughter about what happened. And now she thinks he's a piece of shit that abandoned her. So his journey is not only to get his wife back, because he wants that.
I just gotta stop you there.
Piece.
I just gotta stop you there, because ultimately I could have gone through the entire movie's plot too, but you wanted me to sum it up in a nutshell, and like we're going through the whole goddamn movie.
This is the premise.
Okay.
I have not gone through the entire movie. I'm not mentioning any of the characters, any of the beats. Like that is the catalyst, and a lot of this he says in the opening to the parole board. But that's in a very large suitcase, maybe not a nutshell. That is the movie. Now let's talk about it. Let's talk about the good shit. Well, what did you like most about this movie?
Bradley Cooper.
That was your favorite part?
That was not my favorite part.
The cameo?
I fucking loved it. When you walk in and you figure out it's Bradley Cooper and he's this teeny little, like, not even like a hobbit. Like, he's not even like a stocky little hobbit. He's just a teeny little person. He's like, it's so freaking funny. He's so little.
In a big chair, in a giant chair.
In a giant chair.
Like Lily Tomlin used to sit in.
And he's so meek, and he's like, oh, I cooked this and that, and I foraged some elven berries, and like, it was just too funny.
Do you think he's a D&D fan? Do you think that's why?
I have no idea.
Because that's such a random thing to have Bradley Cooper just pop up in this movie.
Yeah, it was pretty damn funny though. But I will say there was that part paid off, right? Because he was Michelle Rodriguez's character's ex-husband, and they had separated after she went to jail, and he ended up remarrying some other like
giant hulking barbarian woman.
and like there's this awkward situation where she comes in and we're talking. But the best part about this whole situation, like, Bradley Cooper was great, right? But what I thought was hilarious is later on at the end of the movie, they get pardoned by the king, and the person pinning these pins on them is another one of the race of the little guys. And you see they cut to like an over the shoulder of the dude up in Michelle Rodriguez. She's looking at him like, yum.
She's got a type.
Like, yeah, like, that's her type. She likes the little dudes. I thought that was so damn funny, man. It was such a great little payoff.
This movie was endlessly inventive, and like the camera work, the portal heist sequence with the portal on the wagon, I thought was amazing.
The hither-thither stick.
That was great. But the fat dragon.
Holy shit.
Dragon.
I literally thought to myself, I was like, that's my spirit animal right there.
I thought about my cat Loki, my big fat black cat Loki. Just fat, his legs can't even touch the ground. He's like belly sliding.
Really?
No, I'm saying the dragon.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the cat.
No.
I was like,
my cat's not that
fat. Jesus Christ.
He's actually, he's a little rotund, but he's not as bad as some of the cats you see on TikToks.
Yeah, I was thinking it was like it's the Daisy dragon because we have my fat little pug.
But I'm thinking that's inventive. Like,
yeah, that dragon was great.
I could see them like when they wrote this or design it. Like, we've seen countless dragons. How do we make this dragon unique and different? Let's make him morbidly obese.
Yeah,
he's just been eating people so much,
sliding around, like, his arms flailing because he can't touch the ground. It's so funny, dude. Oh my god.
Then the girl, that actress, by the way, she's so adorable.
Oh yeah, the tiefling. I think it was. She was called a tiefling.
Yeah, Sophia Lillis.
Mm-hmm.
She plays Doric, a tiefling druid. She's from It. She was the girl in It.
Oh, that's where I saw her. I was trying to place her. Yeah. Oh, and I never looked it up. Oh, that's too good.
Marvel, if you're listening, please cast her in any role in the X-Men. Maybe she's Kitty Pryde.
Shadowcat.
But there's a sequence with her. She was spying on the Red Witch, and she starts off as... Is it a fly?
Yes, a fly.
And there's this incredible sequence. It is set up as one shot, but obviously it's not. But that's the way they designed it. She's morphing into different creatures as they chase her through the castle, through the window.
That was really cool.
Through the streets. The deer.
See, she did turn into a deer.
Yeah. Although that CGI was pretty bad on the deer. Like, that was like, oof.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't give a shit. That was an inventive sequence. The fucking graveyard sequence I love.
Dude.
That may be my most favorite sequence in the movie.
It was really good.
And that's where the movie, like, really, you know what? This is a good movie.
Yeah.
Like, there's no denying it now. Because they can only ask the dead 5 questions.
I can ask corpses 5 questions and then they go back to being dead.
Were you killed in battle?
Yes.
4 more questions, right?
Yes.
Did that count as a question?
Yes.
Only answer when I talk to you, okay?
Yes.
Why did you say okay at the end of that?
I didn't.
Fantastic. Where's the shovel?
And then they would die. They would die again. Forever. You couldn't bring them back after that. But if you didn't ask them 5 questions... They just sit there.
but it was very clever. It's like, in a lesser movie, they would have just chose one person that knew fucking everything.
Yep.
But everybody had a little piece of the puzzle, and some were useless. Like, one guy died getting out of the tub.
That was so funny.
He doesn't know where they were looking for a magical helm. He doesn't know where the helm is. Like, well, we got to ask him more questions because he'll just be alive forever. It's like, I don't know. Do you like cats?
Yeah.
He just started asking a random question. What's your favorite color?
Oh, man. That was a really good part.
And you stayed for the post-credits thing, right?
Oh, yeah, obviously, totally. He's still sitting there.
I'm still alive. Great.
Oh, man. And they look good. Like, those, and they all looked so different, which I liked.
Yeah. Each dead corpse.
Each dead corpse looks so different. It was really, really good.
This movie hit fantasy really hard. Like, it embraced it.
Well, it wasn't just that. It did a great job of emulating, like, In fact, I was watching it thinking to myself, like, this is how a D&D campaign should go.
Please speak on that, because I don't know. Like, is that...
Like, you go, like, because the way you make D&D campaigns go for longer periods of time, you look for a particular thing or try to beat a particular, like, monster or something. You get there and you find information that directs you to a completely different place, and now you have to go on that journey and battle the stuff and deal with the situations along that road till you get to another one where some of you might need to go do this and some of you might need to go do that, and now you're on two different paths, and then you converge after that. And it was really, I was watching it the whole time thinking to myself, like, kind of taking notes on how a D&D campaign should really progress. I thought it was really, really interesting. Like, it really had the feel of, because, you know, like I said, I've only played the Adventure Begins version, which is a lot more dumbed down, but it's the same thing. Like, you go through a certain town, and Neverwinter is actually one of the boards that you use in Adventure Begins. And you go, and it was funny because right when they talked about Neverwinter, Noah leans over. He's like, "That's one of the places in Adventure Begins." And I was like, "Yeah, they're absolutely right."
So there's several realms. It's like Lord of the Rings. There's like several realms. Neverwinter is just one realm, and that's where the movie takes place.
Well, I don't think it takes place in Neverwinter the entire time. Like, I'm pretty sure Neverwinter is just like that town.
Is it just the town? I don't know.
I don't remember, like, to tell you the truth.
But
maybe it was. I don't really remember, to tell you the truth. But I do know there's multiple places that you go in Adventure Begins, and so I would just think that you would kind of travel a little bit more into different realms in the game itself.
One of the writer and directors highlighted that the heist genre is familiar to the audience, which provides the framework for the uninitiated, so that they understand what our characters are setting out to do without being overwhelmed by lore or proper nouns.
And that's actually perfect, to tell you the truth.
And he wanted the film to be accessible to those unfamiliar with the fantasy genre, and cites Princess Bride, Monty Python, The Holy Grail, Lord of the Rings, Indiana Jones as influences. They did a great job. Like, I didn't know shit about Dungeons and Dragons, and you knew a little bit, you know enough. There was enough, like, connection there for you.
Yeah, and you know what's really funny is I had just bought, like, a new miniature, because Noah got into Dungeons and Dragons because of freaking Stranger Things, right?
Right.
And one of the characters is the Mind Flayer, and it controls people's minds. Well, I ordered it on Amazon. We get the model in the mail, and it comes with the Mind Flayer and a little character that goes along with it. And it's one of the little brain dog thingies. And I was like, "No, look, it's a thing from the movie,
that was
dude."
A great scene too.
Yeah,
he's like, "Careful, high intellect will attract it." Okay,
exactly. They all just wander right by him.
And Chris Pine's like, "Well, that's kind of insulting."
Yeah.
But that's an actual thing in the game. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can guarantee there's so much in this game, it would make absolutely no sense to not have every single thing in the movie be based on an actual thing from the game.
So I'm going to throw some things at you. I don't know if you know it or not.
I'll try.
In the maze at the end, in the climax, the panther with the little tails that could project like a image of itself. What is that thing called?
Displacer beast is what it's called. It's called a displacer beast. The puma-like displacer beast capable of displacing light to create a duplicate image of themselves a short distance away.
Speaking of duplicate images, how about that Chris Pine?
Holy shit, I loved that part.
Projection. He freezes. And you're like, what?
Yeah, because you don't realize it's not him.
The magician's foot, who's casting, his foot gets caught in like a cobblestone.
Yeah.
And he starts to
morph. My foot.
The image starts to morph.
Dude, when it starts to like freak out, its head's shifting down, its legs, and I was like, this is so good. Like, this is so funny. Like, oh my God, I love this. Like, people in the theater were just going crazy.
Oh, were
cracking
they?
up. Oh yeah, they were just laughing their asses off. Oh my God, it was so funny.
I'm guessing they picked like really iconic, classic Like, isn't there like a big eyeball creature from Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes, those are called beholders. In Adventure Begins, one of the bosses you fight is Felbrus the Beholder.
I was kind of disappointed that they didn't have more monsters in that maze. It's not really a critique, but
yeah, it would have been nice.
I thought I would see the eyeball monster. Like, they had the trick treasure chest that would like try to bite you.
It's called a mimic. I think it's called a mimic.
And then, like, in the maze, the gelatin, the acidic gelatin, that's from the game too, I take it.
Yeah, the gelatinous cube.
The entire maze sequence was so inventive.
Yeah.
Like, the gelatinous thing, because Doric, she's like, let it capture you, trust me, right?
Yeah.
Because as soon as she sticks her finger out through the thing to make a hole as it encases her, and then she morphs into a snake, so she's able to tunnel through the shape that she's made and out.
Well, because that's the whole thing. The gelatinous cube is like it's a cube that you get stuck in, you can't get out of, and it's made of like digestive like acid.
Yeah,
like it
so
dissolves you,
right?
And so if you're in there for just a split second, you'll be okay. If you're only in there for like 10 seconds, you'll be okay. You might be a little sore, but you'll be fine. They're like, it stings.
Right.
Like,
but they do show someone who couldn't get out. And he's like, his flesh is like coming off.
Totally. And he's like just a skeleton.
And in that moment, they start and they're on the top, and then they're on the bottom. So that when the maze is changing, now it's like walls coming to crush them. They have to like move and get out the way. And
yeah, that was pretty good.
Like, really inventive, man. Like, not a wasted frame. And I could tell that whoever made this, the guys that made this, obviously they were fans, right?
Oh, they had to be. They had to be longtime Dungeons and Dragons players. I would assume as much, or they just did a great job of getting the right people and listening to them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
This particular movie has been in development since 2013.
Oh, yeah?
At one point, Joe Manganiello and The Rock were set to star in this.
Oh,
God. Now, in some version, the script has gone through many, 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 many revisions, so it probably didn't look anywhere near what this was. But Joe, yeah, he runs like a celebrity D&D like thing.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I think I've seen that.
Vince Vaughn is part of it, and some other celebrities. But I like the cast. My only issue, and it's not even an issue, it's just Michelle Rodriguez.
I don't like her.
Okay, I'm glad you said it, because I was about to say it.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the spark, man. Like,
no.
And she may be the luckiest woman in show business to stumble into some of the biggest franchises, but
I know.
I kept watching her, like, even though she's playing a barbarian, I kept watching it thinking, man, what actress would have been better with this material?
Any of them?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I would say was the weakest link. And even though her character was written to be, very like, not really stoic, but I felt like everyone elevated their material, and she just was Michelle Rodriguez, being grumpy and, making mean faces or whatever. But that felt like an opportunity for a better actor to find a hidden layer to her character.
Absolutely. I mean, she was fine. Like, it felt like she didn't detract anything from the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, she was just a zero sum. You know what I mean? Like, she added nothing, she subtracted nothing.
I think her character needed to have charm in a different way for me to believe that those two, Chris Pine and her, would be so close and bonded.
Well,
like, I think because her personality is kind of flatline, and he's such a,
Yeah, but that's kind of a thing, like sometimes people who are over the top, like, end up becoming friends with people who are a little more calm and subdued because they kind of like complement each other. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll give you an example. The guy who's only in it for a little bit, like second act, the guy who took everything literal, he was like,
oh yeah,
Drax.
Fucking Drax.
Like, that would have been a funny quality for her. I mean, maybe that's too Drax-like, right? But
yeah,
like, even like a personality quirk.
He was good. He was from Bridgerton.
Yes,
from what I understand.
He's hunky. Everyone says.
Totally.
Fans. Well, probably women fans want him to be the next Bond. Which he could probably pull it off, I think.
He could totally pull it off.
His action scene was pretty fucking awesome, dude. Like,
dude, he was a badass. What about there when he starts walking away and they're like, yeah. Man, he sure is walking in a straight line, isn't it? Oh,
there's a rock.
What's he gonna do? There's a rock. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna
right
run?
over
Oh, nope. He's going right over it. Oh man, it was so funny.
Chris Pine, he doesn't get enough credit, dude. Maybe he does, but like he could have been fucking Star-Lord. You know what I mean?
Could you imagine how good?
I think it might have been better for Chris Pine in a way. I don't know.
I don't know, because I do like Chris Pratt's, or even, I mean, he is the worst Chris, but I do like his sort of hapless, dumb, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, but also he's the Star-Lord that I know. Like, if I had never seen him as Star-Lord, and then they gave me Chris Pine, I probably would have loved him.
The reason I say, and I'm not shitting on Chris Pratt, but...
you can shit on Chris Pratt.
Chris Pine, there's an innate feeling of a con man, of smugness. I guess it's more of a compliment to Chris Pratt. You like him instantly.
Yeah.
Whereas Chris Pine, you think he's got something up his sleeve. It's a subtle difference, right? And I think that would have made an interesting take on Star-Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in fact, he was raised by, like, ravagers and con artists, or, scum of the universe. He's definitely more like a Han Solo type. He's more of a Han Solo
Absolutely.
type.
Oh, what if he was Han Solo?
That would have been fucking amazing. I mean, look, the guy...
Dye his hair brown.
The guy
dye his hair brown and
played
good to go.
Captain Kirk, and no one said that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, they said it in the beginning until they saw the fucking movie.
And they were like, holy fuck,
Yes!
this guy is amazing.
I can't. There's not a more massive job as an actor to follow William Shatner. And it's not because Shatner's a great thespian. He is a brand.
Well, he's so bad that it's hard to follow him.
He's so
because,
over the top. His mannerisms.
Yeah, you can't. Exactly. Like, he's a horrible actor. You know what I mean? Like, he is one of the worst actors in the world, but he also has... There is something about him. I mean, he is that character, so it doesn't matter how bad of an actor he is because he's that character.
Yeah.
This beloved character. And now you have to follow in the footsteps. Like, how do you do that? And he did a great job of just making the role his own and really just embodying the spirit. You know what it reminds me of? It's like Bella Ramsey as Ellie. Like, she isn't exactly Ellie from the game. She, took the spirit of Ellie and created her own version.
Right.
Just like Chris Pine did with Kirk. I can't think of a better change of actor follow-up in anything, to tell you the truth. Like, I really can't.
No. Back to this movie, though. Chris Pine fucking killed it. The movie budget was $150 million. So far, it's made $70.1 million.
Oh, nice.
I believe this is a movie that word of mouth, hopefully, will get people out. And then when it's streaming, it'll really take off.
Totally.
I want them to do a sequel.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to see these characters again.
Didn't they do a Dungeons and Dragons movie a long time ago? Like, that was really bad.
Yeah, I never saw it. I heard it looked awful, like in the trailer.
Yeah, who was in it? It was like, 2000. Jeremy Irons. Oof.
With the dragon army at my command, I can crush the Empress and control what is rightfully mine. You can write that, do you? Good. I can use every ounce of your rage.
Zank Yandar, the paladin. He's like, okay, you're gonna move. Now, was this a nod to the game? You have to move left, but then step right, and he's given these elaborate to go across the bridge.
It's like, first we must step only on odd number tiles all the way until the middle, and then once we get to the middle, we must go to the 4. Like,
is that a nod to the game?
I think it's kind of a nod to, like, when you have a really experienced dungeon master who's like making it overly complicated, right. And while he's in the middle of this giant thing,
someone Leroy Jenkins it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot better than we usually do.
All right, thumbs up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Oh my God, he just ran in. God damn it, Leroy.
Well, like Simon, like the crappy wizard is kind of listening. He just kind of puts his foot up on this ledge to kind of like get a little bit more comfortable, and it's like the first step of the bridge itself, and the whole bridge just collapses.
It was like that was part of the bridge, because didn't really know that's where it started.
But I think that was less to do with the game. What really had to do with the game was after that. When they all start saying, well, I have rope, we could tie it to my axe and throw it over. Well, I have this, I have that. That is a big part of the game, is trying to come up with a way to solve a problem that,
pooling your talents and resources to figure out.
Pooling your talents and resources. Whoever's the best at a certain talent, they end up succeeding and allows the party to get across the chasm or whatever. Yeah, but then, the fact that they had the hither-thither stick, I think that...
Is that from the game, too? The hither-dip?
I would be so surprised if it wasn't.
The Portal anything was so fucking creative and fresh and cool. Like...
Yeah.
I like Chris... Yeah, I make plans. What's your role? I make the plan. So once the plan is made, we don't really need you anymore. What the plan fails, so you make plans that fail. You're not quite following me. I don't think you grasp the importance of what I do.
Oh, man, that was so good.
They had to cleverly figure out how to get into the vault. Right, and their plan.
Oh my
A
God, they
failed
figure it all
because he couldn't use the helm. Right, so
yeah. Plan A failed, so they went to Plan B, and now that Plan B failed, we're like, well, what's Plan? He's like, we have to go to Plan C. Well, what's Plan C? It's basically doing Plan A again. So wouldn't it just be Plan A? No, Plan A's got a stink on it now. Now it's got to be Plan C. And then the same thing. They're like, well, then that fails. They're like, well, we got to go to Plan D. Well, what's Plan D? Well, it's Plan B, but it's like, but Plan B's kind of got a stink on it too.
The filmmakers are so brilliant because they anchored this in a good heist film. Everyone can embrace that, right?
But it's not just that. What they anchored it in is, why do you play D&D? To have fun. Right? So you need to have fun while you're watching this movie. You need to watch these people who are basically playing this game have fun. You know what I mean? They need to be having fun. Otherwise, we're not going to have fun. I thought to myself, I wondered if they were going to do like a Princess Bride thing where they're actually playing. There's actually a Chris Pine. All these characters have real life versions where they start the game and and they go back and they like have they have some sort of comedic reasons why they go back to the characters or something. You know what I mean? Like, and it's similar to like where he's telling the story and like in the middle of the story when he's trying to convince the parole board, like in the middle of his conversation about the story, like he starts talking. So is he here yet? like in the story version, and then it cuts to him and when he's actually talking about it.
Right,
like,
he breaks the fourth wall like as he's telling the tale.
Exactly. And I think I was wondering if they were going to do something like that. I mean, they didn't, which is fine. And who knows, maybe it would have made it worse. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I thought there could have been some fun stuff. And then you would have had these four people like going through this journey together. And I don't know. I thought it might have been fun because that's what D&D really is. D&D isn't the characters on the board. You know what I mean? You're living through them, but it's the people playing the game, you know what I mean? And so I thought that would have grounded it in our world.
I think if they hadn't done the last two Jumanjis, because I think Jumanji might have stolen that thunder a little bit. But I think it's a brilliant idea if those two fucking films didn't exist.
Yeah.
Actually, I would have preferred the Jumanji trope, for this.
Oh, yeah, totally.
A real game with decades of like
But that's not exactly what I mean. I'm not saying they get transported into the world. I mean, like, it's like, it's like the Princess Bride. Like, he's telling a story in the Princess Bride, and every time he starts telling the story, it hops into the story, and you see the story from there. And so, they talk about, like, for some reason they hop out of it. Oh, what are you going to do? I'm going to roll for this. Well, check this stat, check that. You got to roll this. You got to, like, okay, let's do it. And they roll, and the roll transitions us into the action sequence. And then you don't see it for a long time until for some reason it pops up later, and they have an argument. Like, well, that's not how that works. What do you know what I mean? Like, and then it would be funny if they would have those little conversations with each other, like in the dungeons and in the fantasy world,
right,
and then cut to them continuing the conversation in the real world, and then they get right back into it. Like, I don't know, I thought it would have been a funny little play if they had done something like that, but I'm just rewriting the movie. Like,
yeah, there you go. That's my job. What are you doing? Get off.
Hey, I'm just
go
saying,
back to the kids' table. Your macaroni necklace needs some work.
I'm slightly offended by the kids' table comment, by the way, Troy.
Kids' table's fun, man. I prefer to sit at a kids' table. They ain't gotta talk about adult shit with adults.
Yeah, that's what you say. That's what you say.
I can finger paint. Yeah, and all the characters were good. The wizard kid, he was good. Simon was good.
I liked him. I thought he was pretty funny.
He's in love with Dork, the shape-shifting druid. Oh, I love how she changes at the very end. It's a very Hulk moment with Hulk Loki, where she takes down the Red Wizard and like slams her endlessly,
bashes the
and then
shit out.
Chris Pine's like, I think you got her, and then she does it like a few quick more times just to make sure.
Yeah. Oh my god, that shit was pretty funny.
Oh, and then the portal, the use of the portal. So Hugh Grant is, it was a big heist for him. He's taking all the treasure, the booty that was supposed to be, I guess, for the winners of the tournament that he reinstated. He actually going to use a ship and to get it out. They take the ship, but they use the hither-thither to have the give it back to the people. So it's pouring. Yeah. He's got like a huge hot air balloon with his face on it, and his portal opens where his mouth is, and he's regurgitating literally all this treasure onto the hapless masses. So,
oh my god, that was so funny. But also the fight scene at the end, the Red Witch fight scene, was pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. Like when they're all just blasting at her and she's dodging them and swatting them away. That was a pretty badass fight scene, I will say. Oh, one thing. Oh, I really wish they had done this. It would have been so good. When the king, the real king, awakens at the end of the movie, right? Mm-hmm. I leaned over to Andrea. I was like, this should have been Viggo Mortensen.
That would have been great.
How great of a cameo would that have been? People would have lost their fucking minds, dude.
You're right. Return of the King.
Dude, it would have been so good. Oh, Lordy.
Just talking it through. You know, this movie felt like classic Star Wars, and that it was loaded with these different fantastical creatures. It wasn't like a big deal. Like, these creatures just exist, like Star Wars. A big slug creature will walk by and no one bats an eye.
Exactly.
It was cool to see that type of world in this fantasy setting, and you just have fun with it. What do you want to rate this, Mike? What would you rate it?
Why don't you do yours first? Right. I always do it first.
All right. I'll give this a 4. 4 miniaturized Bradley Coopers.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Holga sex toys out of 5. Should have let me go first. Were you thinking of that one?
I was thinking of that one. But to tell you the truth, I was trying to think of something else, to tell you the truth. Like,
can you imagine what she does with Bradley Cooper?
Oh, my God. Just stuffs them all the way up.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff them all the way up.
Take a deep breath.
She's got a great ass. And you got your head all the way up it. Literally.
I will give it 4 out of 5 questions asked to a reanimated corpse.
Nice. This is one of those movies, this is probably the highest compliment I could pay. This is one of those movies where if it's on cable and it's on, at any point you can start watching and enjoying it.
And have fun.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
So if you would like to support this show, keep us going, keep us rolling along, uploading content, you can support us by going to patreon.com/baldguysbadmovies and donate to the show. We're going to use those funds to make sure we can see any movies that you guys want to see and getting our studio set up so we can start recording video and doing these not just audio but also video on YouTube. And once a month, we will pick a patron to choose a movie for us to review. And we'll review it. We'll dedicate it to you. But either way, we just hope you enjoy the show and keep on coming back.
Behold, my curious Dungeons and Dragons travelers, the power of the owlbear. Wait a minute, a druid can't turn into an owlbear.
Relax, it's just a movie.
Yeah, don't be a hater.
Rules are rules for a reason.
You're such a rules lawyer.
Damn.
Whoa. Oh, damn.
Critical burn.
Ah, but the first rule is, if I say it's okay, it's okay. And Eric, you suck.